All right, guys, so we got a new member of the family. This is Zeus. He's a purebred German Shepherd from a working line, and he's going to join his new brothers, Baxter and Marshall. The reason why we call them Zeus is because every litter of dogs from a breeder has to start with a certain letter. So this guy is from the Z litter. We didn't have to name him something that starts with Z, but you know, it's kind of hard for us to pick names, so that actually kind of limited it nicely. So we figured, why not the god of all gods, Zeus. This is our third take doing this, so Zeus really wants to go down and play with his bro. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. So unfortunately, we got some bad news, guys. So Marshall has a condition called degenerative myelination. Marshall's condition is like an adult form of ALS. Eventually his organs will start to shut down. There's a good silver lining is that he doesn't feel pain as a result of this, but he does feel pain if he like slips and hurts his toe. So because we got these hardwood floors, we'll have to assist him periodically with a blanket underneath his stomach. We were noticing that Marshall was having a hard time get up, and sometimes his back legs would give out. What would usually happen is we would be driving the quads and the dogs would chase us on the quads. But we started to notice that Marshall wasn't keeping up as much anymore. And that could be because he's 8 years old. German Shepherds can live between 10 to 12 years old typically. So he is getting up there in age, but it kept progressing and it kept getting worse. And so now, pretty much in the night times especially, his back way will give out. It's very hard for him to get up, and unfortunately there's no cure for it. It's a degenerative condition. It's going to continue to likely get worse to the point where he's not going to have any mobility in his back legs. And at that point, unfortunately, you know, putting him in diapers, getting him in a wheelchair, or giving him the wheeled support, that's something that I'm just not a fan of for a variety of reasons. We also want to remember Marshall as he is right now, which is why we're doing this video. Marshall can still run and play with the other dogs, so we wanted to get that on film for you guys today, because I know a lot of you have been asking to see how Marshall has been doing. And he has an extensive history of, you know, accidents and things like that. If you guys recall, about 7 years ago or so, he got into an accident, his leg got broken. We made a video of that. We got him all healed up thanks to the YouTube community. They supported the operation. And since that time, he's been great, but there have been a few problems. You know, he doesn't eat well. He tends to throw up a lot ever since that accident. Now he's got this issue. Other than that, he's perfectly healthy. Mentally, no hip issues, no hip dysplasia, nothing like that. It's just strictly this degenerative myelination. And unfortunately, that means that eventually, who knows when it's gonna be, he's just not gonna be able to walk anymore. Now he has a protege in training. Marshall trained Baxter. When we first got Baxter, we have videos that look very much like the one you're seeing now. We had a little black dog come and keep Marshall company. And it's funny, I have some pictures of the day when this dog came here, and the difference between Baxter and Marshall's reaction was priceless. Baxter basically went into a corner with this scowl on his face because he knew what time it was. He knew there was a new dog in town. Hey, you're wrecking my new jacket. And Marshall, complete opposite. Marshall was more receptive, more inviting. Yeah, Marshall is just super chill, man. Doesn't matter what the species. He knows when bad guys are bad guys. He'll bark. He has lunged at people who he thought were threats. So he's not like a pushover dog. He just has great discernment. I'm trying to do the reflex. The leg reflex, where is it? Ka-chee-ka-chee-koo, ka-chee-ka-chee-koo, ka-chee-ka-chee-koo. I just can't help moving that chicken leg. Show him who's boss. Show him that you still got moves. Show him who's boss. Oh, he's taunting you. He's got little man syndrome. Come on, don't take this from him. He's in a totally different weight category. What's going on? Okay, so there's 3 general use cases for security for dogs. One of those things is going to be detection. That means that they can detect things from much further away. They have incredibly adept and accurate sensory modalities. Their sense of smell, their sense of sight in the dark, their night vision is far superior to humans. And even their hearing is absolutely excellent, so they can hear things from miles and miles away. In addition to that, you can use dogs for deterrence. Just knowing that there's a dog on the property may deter a would-be intruder. Most lazy criminals aren't going to mess with the property if they know there's an aggressive dog there. Not all the time, because dogs can easily be neutralized, unfortunately. Thirdly is defense. Yes, you can train a dog to actually physically defend and aggressively go at somebody. Of course, that's ill-advised for a variety of legal reasons I'm not going to get into, but we have trained our dogs to do those things as well. So they know how to defend, they know how to deter, and they most certainly know how to detect. The dogs on the property here, excellent. They keep the coyotes at bay. When we first got here, we seen a couple coyotes. Now all we do is hear them. The dogs howl at night. They established that this is their territory. They mark their territory, and we don't have problems with wild animals. They chase deer and all that stuff. So look how smart this dog is. He's trying to get out the door. Look at him. So this is how smart that dog is. He's trying to get out of the greenhouse because we're trying to finish this video shoot. And he's like,
Man, get me out of here.
Look at that. Whoa. What the? I chose German Shepherds. They're a great all-around dog for my climate. They're not going to be the greatest dog for everybody and everywhere. In terms of an all-around dog that kind of has fair attributes on pretty much every dimension, German Shepherds are great. They have excellent discernment. They're great guard dogs. They were originally herding dogs, so they're great protectors. We're going to have a lot of animals on the farm, and the dogs at night, they keep the coyotes away. We haven't really seen many coyotes out here because of these 2 dogs. And you kind of need 2 of them because they work like a pack. And because, you know, Marshall's getting up there in years, I wanted him to train Zeus, who's our new up-and-comer, and soon it's going to be Zeus and Baxter who are running patrols on the property. There's a lot of other reasons to have a dog. They're great for hunting. They're great for tracking. You know, if you need them to retrieve certain things, you can do that. You can train them to do a lot of stuff, and ultimately they're good for companionship. The downside is going to be the food. So what I'd like to do with Zeus is actually condition him to eat wild meat a little bit more. We did have a dog, and I should give you guys an update because most of you don't know about what happened to Shadow. So Shadow unfortunately ran away. As some of you know, we did a video on this stranger that we had, and we did a whole video on what to do with refugees in a grid down situation. And we used this straggler dog who came onto our property as kind of an example of, you know, what we decided to do, because we wanted to show our kids that there's a time and place to help, and there's a time and place to say, no, sorry, we can't help you. We don't have enough to go around. Shadow came, he stayed with us for about 8 months or so. He was always running, you know, for miles off the property. You know, people would report that he was in a town not too far from here. He eventually one day just ran away, and we were quite disappointed because I took a liking to him. He was a great dog. He fed himself. He hunted. Unfortunately, he hunted a little bit too much to an extent that we maybe didn't like. But nonetheless, what I liked about that dog is he was really self-sufficient. So it was sad to see him go one day. We came back and he just wasn't here, and he never came back. And it kind of reminded me of that show, The Littlest Hobo. You know, everybody remembers that. It's a Canadian show, but you Americans probably don't remember it. But it's about a German Shepherd that goes town to town helping people. And I don't know if he really helped us much per se. Maybe he did a little bit. He kind of brought us together. And yeah, it's unfortunate. So we planned on having 3 dogs here. So now we have another dog in the pack. Now we do have 3 male dogs. So I know somebody in the comments is going to say, oh, those dogs are going to kill each other. They'll work it out. I've had Baxter and Marshall go at each other pretty aggressively before, and yeah, there was a few scars as a result of it, but they established their boundaries. This dog we're going to try to keep intact, which means he's going to get to keep his nuts and maybe even breed them someday. This is perfect. It's like a Looney Tune antics. Where did he go, Zeus? Where did he go? So we've been blessed because Marshall had so many cool experiences on the channel that he was a part of over the years, because he's been camping with us more times than I can count. There was one disastrous experience though, and I gotta tell you guys about this. It was the nightmarish vacation from hell. We decided, you know, it would be great to take both of our dogs on a vacation. So we brought Baxter and Marshall, full-grown German Shepherds. We took them out to this cabin that we rented. We get there to the place and we're like, okay, let's go rent a boat. Well, before we could even get there to talk to the guy, the dogs decided, you know what, we're gonna take a giant crap on the dock as we are approaching. You know, this is like a kind of a country club, like ritzy sort of place, and our dogs are crapping all over the dock. You know, whatever, it happens. So we get onto the boat and we rented a pontoon boat, and we decided to bring the dogs on. The dogs decided to shit on the pontoon boat. So then we had to clean up the boat, because obviously we put a deposit on, and it wasn't just crap, this was like diarrhea, okay, and both of them. So then we had to put one dog in the water to clean it off. So we got them to jump out in the middle of the lake. They can swim, but then the dog couldn't get back onto the pontoon boat. So that was crazy. So we had to get in the water, get the shitty dog back onto the pontoon boat. Then we take the pontoon boat back to the cabin, and we're like, oh man, that really sucked. We said, okay, we need a break. We brought their kennels. We put them in the kennel for a while because we couldn't leave them outside because there's other dogs and people. And then they decided to, you not, they decided to in the kennel, in the cabin. The kennel's full of and it's the most liquefied you've ever seen in your life, and they're rolling in it. I couldn't even recognize them. So at this point, you know, our vacation is pretty much pooch, because it's just been 2 days of constant crap, nothing we can do. Then on the last night, they left us one last present. So they decided to crap all over the carpets. And unfortunately, my son was sleeping in the room with the dog and had the door shut. And so when he woke up, he's screaming at me, "Dad!" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Marshall had an accident." And I was like, oh my God. When the dogs have to go, they know they're not supposed to go in the house, but if they can't help themselves and it's diarrhea, so they'll walk all around. So they won't do it in one place. They'll walk all around, then they'll get it all over their paws, then they'll jump on the bed, and then they'll be freaked out because they know they did something wrong. So it looked like an insane asylum, like, you know, one of those people who's painting in their own feces on the walls. Since that time, we never take our dogs to vacation. We only will take them to the lake if it's maybe a day trip, and if it's a short drive. Yeah, that's my shitty dog story. So, you know, I'm just happy. We've been blessed with the ability to have Marshall immortalized on YouTube, and the kids will always be able to go back to those videos and remember them. I'm gonna post a playlist of all of the videos that we've done that include our dogs, including our kayaking trip and our prepper rules for dogs and our dog training videos, and you name it, we got tons of videos as it pertains to the canine species. So we're gonna try to make the rest of Marshall's life as comfortable as possible, but you know, I'm not gonna treat him like an old man either. If he wants to go and do stuff, as long as he's not gonna hurt himself, I'm not gonna stop him from doing that. I want him to still enjoy life a little bit, and I want him to spend time with Zeus. And if you guys have any dog stories with respect to prepping, let me know what kind of dog you have in the comment section below, and what you think the main function of animals like that are in an SHTF situation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the video. Canadian Prepper out.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com, where you'll find high-quality survival gear at the best prices, no junk, and no gimmicks. Use discount code PREPPINGGEAR for 10% off. Don't forget, the strong survive, but the prepared thrive. Stay safe.